I hope that got your attention because it sure as hell got mine. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Paper Chase channel. My name's John. I make comic book content. If you're interested in something like that, consider subscribing. And if you do want to support the channel, you can do that in the best way by just simply hitting the like button. Now, amongst the videos that, I try to make here on the channel, comic hunting and comic haul videos and collection buys are some of the best ones. And this is by far at the top tier, top of the echelon, and I think it's going to just say it for itself in this video. So I'm going to kind of give you guys a backstory on how I came across this. I got some really good footage of digging through some of this stuff. And a lot of times when I'm doing this, I really can't get good footage out of kind of like the type of person I'm dealing with. But this guy was like, go for it. So it's amazing that on the best haul, I can actually show like some of the digging. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to talk about the key issues. It's a great learning experience for people who want to know what else is out there, what key issues are out there, maybe that you don't know about. Okay, a lot of books to get through. So quick backstory. I've talked about where these books came from actually in the past. I had done a video of my first Comic-Con that I set up at. And one of the things at that Comic-Con that was a road bump was a couple of guys that I've called the brothers. Now, long story short, the brothers are two guys that really are not into comic books, or they weren't, and they inherited their uncle's collection. Their uncle's collection is astounding. It's amazing. It's one of those once in a lifetime types of collections, right? So instead of selling it as a whole, they themselves have been trying to piece this out and get help from local comic shop owners and all these people to kind of help them sell this bit by bit. And that's what they've been doing for the past few years, it seems. Now, this collection is insane. From what they've told me, they've pulled like 8 Hulk 181s out of there, just a ton of big keys. But one of the hangups is some of these books contain a small amount of color touch. I don't know what they thought or what they were trying to accomplish doing this, but they went through and color touched just a bunch of these books on a whim. That's all I know. So I do know when going through this stuff, I need to be very careful that the books that I'm buying don't have color touch. So as I do show you guys these key issues, I will explain which ones have color touch and which ones don't. The other caveat to being able to dig through all of this stuff is these guys are so hard to get in touch with. We both kind of work in the real estate construction kind of business, right? So these guys really have their hands full. It was a miracle that the day that I was able to call and go over there, that they answered and I showed up over there and this thing happened. But let's dive into this. Here's some of the footage going there at the storage unit, digging through some of these books. All right, just pulled up. Kind of looks like a house slash business. I guess somebody's here. I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. He answered. He fucking answered. This is actually gonna happen, finally. This is really gonna be interesting. Let's see what happens. Heyo, here's a view you don't typically see. Just got home, long day, a lot of digging, 4 hours, and I'm in the office and I'm going through this short box of books here, and it is taking forever because these bags are stuck together. They need to be cut open. Trying to price and grade now because once you look at them, might as well do it while you're looking at them, right? So, got a stack of books here that we spotted Color Touch on. Got a little stack of keys that's going to be priced for sale. Den of Nerds, great podcast if you haven't listened. The Baby Boy sleeping in his crib. And here, this is it. This is where the fun begins. Guys, that is some of the best comic book hunting. You just know anything could resurface. He even said, look, there could be another Hulk 181 in here. We don't, we pulled a bunch of them, but we kind of skimped through some stuff. It was a complete dopamine kick from start to finish. And I wish this upon every comic book collector out there. I really do. Let's get into the key issues and what I picked up. Okay, so I pulled an entire short box from this haul. First, we're going to cut to a video of some miscellaneous things, some things I kind of just pulled because when you're digging like that, sometimes you just pull stuff off of instinct or because you like it, multiple reasons. I'm going to show you a little stack of that first. And then we're going to get into some of the bigger keys down the line. So here's a little miscellaneous stuff as a little appetizer for what's to come. So let's get into the meat and the potatoes, the key issues. Again, there's a lot of books to go through here, so I'm not going to dwell too long or too much on any particular key, but let's dive into this. First up, Jungle Action issue number 21. Anytime that you see, a crucifixion in the KKK and a Black Panther issue, it's controversial covers and topics like this that do tend to hold value. I also want to mention before we continue, if you're interested in buying any of these, whatever ones that are going to be for sale, the best way is my Instagram page. Shoot me a DM on the Instagram page if you're interested in anything here. If it is for sale, I'd be more than happy to work out a deal for you guys. Continuing on with some controversial topics here, this very creepy Adventure Comics 415, and you can see the dragging of Supergirl, and you've got all the weird old men. It's just a weird situation. This thing is actually really high grade. Next, Creatures on the Loose, number 34. This is actually the very first cover art by George Perez. And may he rest in peace. This is the first time he drew a cover, and what a cover it is. Man Wolf. Love me some Man Wolf, man. I don't know why. I like horror stuff. This one goes out to my buddy Reverend Wormwood, who's a great friend of the channel. I'm just going to give him this book because he really likes this character a lot. The Cat, issue number 1, Bronze Age goodness, first appearance of the Hellcat. And no color touch on this, and no color touch on any of the ones I've talked about previously. So, yeah, first appearance of Hellcat. Not Patsy Walker. She's like the third Hellcat. And also the current Hellcat. And her first appearance is in a Miss America book. Really weird. Very tough to find. If you got that book, well, congrats. All right, next up, we got a key. It does have a little bit of color touch on it, but still affordable for somebody. And I'm pricing these that do have the color touch. If they are going to be sold by me, I will be, like I said, completely transparent, and I will price them accordingly. Marvel Spotlight, number 28 on Moon Knight. This is the first solo Moon Knight story. Again, this is like an 8.0, and gorgeous shape and presents really well. And also what's really cool about this is like some of the books you're going to see in here, to run across these books in the wild is not something that a lot of collectors can still do searching today. So many comic collections have been unearthed. Just running into certain books like that you're going to see, it's just becoming harder and harder. All right, continue on with a little DC Gothic horror, Batman crossover, incredible Neil Adams cover. This is Brave and the Bold, issue number 93. About a mid-grade copy here, no color touch on that. Next up, Marvel Team Up issue number 1. We did have a little bit of color touch in this, but all in all, pretty decent shape. Next, Destroyer Duck number 1. No color touch. This thing is actually going to be really high grade with a press. You definitely can't pass up a Doctor Doom cover. Marvel Collector's Item Classic. So these are reprints, but a hell of a cover at that. So these are great. Next, we've got Silver Surfer issue number 7. An amazing John Buscema cover. Not necessarily a key issue, but that entire run is just kind of, I guess, becoming comic book royalty, or has been rather. As of the recording of this video, Daredevil Born Again comes out tomorrow, Tuesday night. And I can't wait. The reviews have been insane. The trailers look great. So picked up a lot of Daredevil. I picked up 3 issues of Daredevil 181. This is the death of Elektra. And we got 3 of them. I got 2 issues of 184. 2 more issues of 185. This one, unfortunately, did have color touch. This is 188. 4 issues of 186. And 4 issues. 3 of these are very high grade, and the other one is not so much. 4 issues of Daredevil 183. This incredible Punisher cover here. Complete lie, by the way. He does not get shot through the stomach. So everybody talks about, YouTubers and their clickbait thumbnails. I've always said, comic book covers have the most clickbait ever. And there's a couple of them in this haul. This is one of them. He does not die in this. He does not get shot through the stomach. He gets shot with a tranquilizer dart. That don't look like a tranquilizer dart to me. Clickbait comics. I'm telling you, clickbait comics. And this is a book that, again, the price has not really increased much on this book, but the volume of moving this book has definitely increased. This is Fantastic Four, issue 209. This is the first appearance of Herbie. All right, we're going to start kicking it up a little bit of a notch here. All right. Invaders, issue number 1. Second appearance of the Invaders, first in the series, obviously. What an incredible cover, too, at that. Now, unfortunately, both of these did have color touch, and they're both priced accordingly. So these are the UK variants. 2 copies of X-Men 130, first appearance of Dazzler. 2 copies of X-Men 142. This is Days of Future Past, Part 2. Got 1 copy of X-Men 134. This is the first appearance of Dark Phoenix. And this one is in pretty high grade. Not a 9.8, but still pretty high grade. Then we have X-Men issue 129. This looks like to be like an 8.5 to a 9.0. First appearance of Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde. And then you saw the intro in the video. I didn't want to take an entire short box, but I did pick up 4 copies of Avengers Annual 10, first appearance of Rogue. Now, 2 out of the 4 have color touch. 2 out of the 4 have color touch. Next is Strange Tales issue 114. This is the third appearance. This is the third appearance of Doctor Strange. It does have a little bit of color touch on it. It is low grade. And it's also the first appearance of the Captain America in the Silver Age, but it's the moniker of Captain America. So it's the outfit, not necessarily Steve Rogers. This is an impersonator. I forget, mannequin? Somebody's impersonating him in this. Ventriloquist? Somebody, I can't think of the name. Somebody in this issue is impersonating him. And this is the first time pop culture saw Captain America since 1954. So that's pretty wild. Pretty cool. And also third appearance of Doctor Strange. Starting to sound like a real collector with some of these books here. All right, next up, Marvel Premiere, issue number 15. First appearance of Iron Fist. It is missing the Marvel value stamp, and it's probably about a mid-grade copy. But again, price to sell if you're an Iron Fist lover. Next up, we have a very high-grade copy. Not a 9.8, but a very high-grade copy of Black Panther, issue number 1, incredible Jack Kirby cover. This is pretty nice coming up. We've got 3 issues of Conan the Barbarian, issue number 23. This is the first cameo appearance of Red Sonja. And following that up with 2 copies of Conan 24, first appearance in full of Red Sonja and her first cover appearance. One is like a 7.5 and the other one's like a 4.0. Next up, we got 3 very high grade copies of Omega Man number 3, first appearance of Lobo. Again, if it has the color touch, I will tell you. Next up, another pretty high grade key without color touch. This is DC Comics Presents number 26, first appearance of the New Teen Titans. Following that, I love this book. It's going to be hard to sell this one. I don't even know. I think I might hold on to this one for a while. In pretty decent shape. Going to be towards the 8.0, 9.0, I think. This is Marvel feature number 1, first appearance of the Defenders. What a cover. This just screams Bronze Age. And I freaking love this book. I really, really do. Another no color touch key, Iron Fist issue number 14. I know you saw a few of those probably in the thumbnail or something. That was nice to grab. 3 of them. I only grabbed 1. All right. 2 more stacks to go over. This one right here is definitely out of left field. This is Star Reach number 1. This is a Jim Starlin cover. And I covered up a couple of bits on it because I don't want the video to get flagged. But look how incredible this cover is here, man. So cool. Jim Starlin, amazing, amazing cover art. Next up, we have a book that I really don't even know how this made it past the Comics Code Authority. I guess because it's a mask and it's not necessarily a head or somebody's face. But this is DC Star Spangled War number 156. Look how wild that cover is there. And he says, this will be my most dangerous role I've ever played. This is really cool. This one might actually warrant a read for me before I decide what I'm going to do with it. Fighting Forces, issue number 71. Really cool Vietnam cover there. Time for a little bit of Golden Age. Strange Worlds, issue number 2. And I believe this is from 1957, 58 maybe. Followed by Alarming Tales number 1. This weird dude who's... I don't know, it's just a weird cover. I just picked it up. Next, this is from Atlas. Before Marvel. 1957's Battleground issue number 16. These war books are amazing. Of course, I wish I would run into more of them more often. But next up, we have some pre-Thor Journey into Mystery. This is issue number 51. Awesome, awesome cover here. Another Golden Age space cover. I thought this was Frank Frazetta at first glance. This one's called Man O' Mars, number 1. And look how incredible that cover is. Yeah, definitely thought that was Frank, but apparently it's not. Last of the war books. This is U.S. Marines in Action, number 3. Incredible cover here. All right, guys, pre-code horror. If you know me, if you know the channel, to find pre-code horror in the wild is a feeling that hopefully I get to have again one day, because this was so cool. I'm forgetting to update you on the color touch stuff. None of these had color touch on them whatsoever. So this one was Web of Evil number 20. It's really cool. Kind of a Loch Ness monster, almost like Godzilla type cover. Yeah, pretty awesome. And maybe one of my personal favorite books. Probably not the most expensive book out of the whole thing, though. I don't know. It could be. This is Haunted Thrills, issue number 20, or no, number 18. And this is the final issue in the Haunted Thrills pre-code horror run. Incredible. When I run across books like these and I actually get to have them and go through them and look at them, it makes me want to sell everything that's not pre-code horror and just line my entire office with pre-code horror. All right. We haven't seen any Spidey yet, right? Well, the whole back half of this is going to be some Spidey stuff, I'll tell you right now. All right. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 113. This is the first appearance of Hammerhead. No color touch. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 125. This is the origin of Manwolf. I have his first appearance right here. And this one is just pretty low grade. No color touch on it. The next one, unfortunately, does have some color touch, but still an incredible issue and an incredible cover by John Romita. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 151. Classic cover here. Again with the color touch, but still an incredible issue to have. Amazing Spider-Man issue 135. This is the second appearance of the Punisher. Next up, this is probably one of the older books that was in here. This whole collection, if I saw a book that was from 1993, that was like the oldest book. Everything in this collection was, gold, silver, and late bronze, or early to late bronze. So ASM 252, first appearance of the Black Suit, newsstand, mid to semi higher grade copy, probably about a 7.0, but a newsstand edition, and no color touch. Getting into a little early bronze ASM, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 189. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man issue number 35. No color touch on any of these. Then Amazing Spider-Man issue number 136, first appearance of this guy, I think. Next one's very nice, no color touch at all. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 37, first appearance of Norman Osborn. Next, this is pretty low grade, but still, that back panel, to see that, that back panel is awesome, and that is all that matters on this issue here. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 42, the first full appearance of Mary Jane Watson. All right, two more books, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 69. Awesome, incredible Kingpin cover here. Again, no color touch on this, probably about a mid-grade copy. And then last, but definitely not least, unfortunately, it did have a little bit of color touch, but still in pretty decent shape. Amazing Spider-Man issue 121. This is the death of Gwen Stacy. Definitely read this one because, iconic storylines and things like that, to read them in that newsprint with that smell. Again, if you have the opportunity to do it, do it. There's nothing like it. So that was it. That was the best comic haul, not collection buy, comic haul that I've had. We're not going to talk price in this because there's a lot more inner workings that I have with these guys that that just kind of factor into all of this. Some work I'm going to do for them, some work that I refer to them to get done. Like I said, our businesses kind of intertwine and overlap a lot. So, but I promise you, it was an amazing deal, and I definitely hope that there's going to be more hauls. I'm almost certain that there's going to be more hauls from them. Reach out on Instagram if you do have an interest in any of these. If they are for sale, we can definitely work something out. Description links in below for where I sell comics. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in, hanging out, watching this, and see you on the next page.